Hello guys, welcome back to another video. How you doing? Please subscribe and like and please. This is my League One table. Not long away now, of course. Me and Dan doing separate videos, so his will be out probably tomorrow. But let's get straight into this. So in 24th place, I have put Bromley. They won League Two last season and had a good season in League Two. But I just don't think they have the budget to stay up in this league. I think, like I said to a couple of people now, League One does get tougher every single year, and I think this year is going to be tougher to stay up. I think teams are building on their strengths, and yeah, I just can't see Bromley staying up. I think they've got a good manager in Woodman, but I just don't think they're going to have enough to stay up, and I think in 24th place, I am putting Bromley. In 23rd place, then, in their second season, I put AFC Wimbledon. Yes, I do think they will go down. In their first season, last season, they finished in 19th, stayed up. Very good season from them. I think the end of the season, and they didn't have a great season, but I just think AFC Wimbledon, they've lost a couple of keen players over the years, and definitely this year, I think in this summer transfer window, so I just can't see AFC Wimbledon staying up in my eyes. In 22nd place, then another promoted side, I'll put Cambridge. They finished third in League Two last season, getting promoted from League Two. A very good season. Of course, great manager Neil Harris. I think he's done absolute wonders there. Got a really good squad, but I just think the players they've lost in Gibbons, of course. They've lost Brophy. They've lost some keen players, and I just don't think Cambridge are gonna help to stay up in this league. So in 22nd, I've put Cambridge. The last team going down then in 21st place, I've put Burton Albion. Burton, of course, finished in 17th last season, of course, staying up by a couple of places. I think they had an okay season, not the best what the fans probably wanted. But I just think Burton, they've lost Beasley up top. Was going to be a big miss for them, and I just can't see Burton staying up with missing Beasley, with missing probably some keen players as well. I just can't see it. And in 21st, I've went Burton Albion. In 20th place, I've just staying up, and it was tough between these two, but I've put Leyton Orient. They finished 20th last season as well, so you know, same of this season. What I think there will be, of course, they lost Dan Ballard last night. Was a big miss for them up top, but he deserved, of course, the championship team, scoring 19 goals for them last season. And if it wasn't for his goals, I think Leyton Orient could have went down. But yeah, just don't think Leyton Orient have the team anymore. I think one season they'll get playoffs, and the next they'll be really poor, and that's what there was last season. The season before they got playoffs. I would say they could get playoffs this year, and it could next year they could, you know, be down there. But I think with Dan Ballard, they need a really good striker in to replace him, and I just can't see them doing that. So in 20th, Leyton Orient. In 19th, then, I have put Notts County, and they finished 5th in League Two last season, getting promoted. I think they've got a really good team. I think they've got quite a lot of good players. I think they've got a great gathering as well. But I like the two signings of Gibbons and the defender from Cambridge. I think that's a very good pickup. And I think Callum Roberts from Scunthorpe United. So I think, yes, you could say, oh, Callum Roberts been playing in National League and it probably easier division, but it entered League Two. I think it's probably easier than League One, but League Two and National League is similar, same. But I know Notts County are in League One now, and it might be harder, but I think he deserved this pick to get into that league. And so in 19th, I have put Notts County. In 18th, I've put Wigan. They finished 16th last season, so I've put them 2 places down. I think the last couple of seasons has been off and on the pitch for Wigan. And I just don't know what to say with Wigan. I know Wigan fans think they'll finish about 15th, 14th, what's probably honest opinions from them, of course. But I think they hate it that their rivals now got promoted to Championship in Bolton, and they're just sticking in League One and not doing anything. And I think they need to have a better season, but I just can't see that. So in 18th place, I've got Wigan. In 17th place, then I have got Peterborough. They finished 18th last season. Really poor season from them last season. I think they've lost a keen player in Jimmy Morgan, and he scored some keen goals for them last season. And missing him is a really big miss. I think they could even lose a couple of more players up that attacking vibe. But they've still got some alright players in Poku, of course, if he's still there. But I just think, yeah, they have lost some key players, and I do think they're going to have a similar season than last season and finish in 17th place. In 16th place, then, I've got MK Dons. They got promoted last season, of course, from League Two, finishing in 2nd place. A really good season from them. I think they could have easily won that league, to be fair, and the last couple of games, if of course they won all their games. But I think they've got a really good team and a good manager in Paul Warne, former of good Derby County manager. I think he knows this division. I know I've seen predictions saying MK Dons will just miss out on the playoffs. People putting them in that top 10. People putting them, mid-table. I've not seen one prediction what put them about 20th, 19th, just staying up. I've actually... So I do think they'll have a really good season, but I don't think they're going to get into that top 10. I just think this division is very hard now, and there's loads of better teams than MK Dons at the minute. No difference to MK Dons, because I think they've got a good team, but if they had more fans, I think they could have even got higher. I know they don't have really many fans at home, so yeah, in 16th, I've gone MK Dons. 15th, then, I've gone Stevenage, and it might shock some people, but they finished 6th last season, of course, got into the playoffs, but I just think there's loads of more teams now who will be fighting to get into that playoffs, and I just think Stevenage will drop off. Don't get me wrong, I think they've got an okay squad, but I just can't see it. I really can't see them really getting into playoffs again or getting into top 10. Prove me wrong, Stevenage fans, I do rate you. I think you've got a good fan base at home as well. I'm not sure if you take many away, but I just think you're going to drop off this season and finish in 15th place. In 14th place, then, I've got Barnsley. Yeah, Barnsley is a funny one. Yeah, Barnsley funny. They, of course, finished in 15th last season. One lower what I have put on for this season. I think losing Connor Holman probably going to be a big miss as manager, because I think he's a good manager, and it was their first season, but of course he turned down. And now they've brought in a new one. I don't know if they're keeping their whole, all their good players, but we will have to wait and see. I'm pretty sure Tom Bradshaw left Barnsley. I know David McGorge left as well. So they've lost a couple of key players to their squad, and I think they'll just have a similar season than last season and finish in 14th. 13th place then, I've got Doncaster, and I think they had a really good season last season, finishing in 14th. People probably expecting them to be down there and finishing 14th in your first season after being promoted from League 2 was very good. And now I just think they'll have a similar season, and I think they will be pushing up that table the years go on in League 1. I think they've got a great fan base, and they've got a good team, and they've got a good coach who manages them, saying 13th. I do think Doncaster will finish there, and yeah. In 12th place then, I've got Wycombe, and this is an interesting one with Wycombe. They're always around that top 12. They actually finished 11th last season. So, you know, I think they'll be around there again. But I think there's more teams now pushing on to get into that top 10. And it wouldn't surprise me if Wycombe actually get into the playoffs. It wouldn't surprise me if Wycombe get into that top 10. Because I think the teams who I'm putting above them, I think they've had better transfers, probably got better managers. No respect to the Wycombe manager, but probably have. And yeah, I just think in 12th place, I have got Wycombe Wanderers. In 11th place, then I've got Blackpool. Blackpool is a funny one. They finished 13th last season, and fair play to them because they had a really poor start to the season. Everyone expected them to get playoffs and all that. With Steve Bruce, then of course he was sacked. They brought in a new gaffer, and there was some fire with him. And the team they've got, I think they could have a similar season, but I think they're going to start the season well this time round, and then maybe drop off at the end of the season. But I think 11th place for Blackpool will be a very good position for them, and I do think they'll finish in 11th top half. Getting into my top 10 then, in 10th place, I have got Reading. Reading, of course, finished 12th last season. A really good season for them, but I can just see them every season pushing on, and I do think they're going to be around them playoffs most of the season. Look, it wouldn't surprise me if they finished out the top 10, but I just got them in now. I think they've got a great team, good fan base. I know they've got new owners as well, so it's going to be interesting to see how Reading do this season, and I've just got them into that top 10, so 10th place, Reading. In 9th place, this might shock some people. I've got Mansfield. They finished 10th last season, had a really good season last season. Of course, with Nigel Clough. I think they've made some good signings, definitely David Maguire. And I just think signing Liam Tomlinson as well, I've seen from Derby, is a very good pickup. I just think Mansfield, they're always good away, and but of course you've heard it last season, Mansfield fans were singing most away days, we always win away. And I just think if they get that home form better, then they could finish in that playoffs. But we will have to wait and see how Mansfield do. But I think they've got a great team and a great manager in Nigel Clough, and I do think they'll finish in 9th place. In 8th place then, I've actually got this team falling out this time and really having probably a poor season than last season. But I've got Bradford, and they finished 4th last season, so I've got 4 places below. They had a good season last season, their first season of getting promoted from League 2. But I don't know with Bradford. I think they've got... There's loads of teams now. The teams coming down from Championship are going to be too strong, strong enough. And I've just got... I just think Bradford are going to be that team who gets... They'll definitely be in the top 8. I think they'll definitely be a top 8 and probably fighting for them playoffs. But I just have a feeling they're going to drop off. And in 8th place, I've got Bradford. just missing out then in 7th place, I've got Oxford. They finished 22nd last season in the Championship, and people probably expect them to get playoffs, but I think they've lost one of their key players in Will Lancourt. Of course, the striker who scored loads of goals for them last season in the Championship. And Aaron Ramsey as manager, it's going to be his first team to manager. So it could be a similar season to Jack Wilshere, what he had last season at Luton. So I just think Oxford, I think you give, if you get 7th this season, I think you give Aaron Ramsey another season. If you finish below 10th, yeah, maybe 10th, below that, I think you sack him. But yeah, that's my opinion, and I do think Oxford will just miss out on the playoffs. Getting into the playoffs then, in 6th place, I've gone Huddersfield Town. Huddersfield, of course, didn't have the best season last season, finishing in 9th place. But I think they're going to have a much better season this season. I think they've got some good players. I think they've got a good gaffer. I can't remember who they've signed off the top of my head, but I know they've signed a couple of key players, and I just think Huddersfield going to be in that playoffs and in 6th place. In 5th place then, I've put a team what had a really struggling season last season, but had a good end to the season. I've put Plymouth Argyle. They finished in 8th last season. They had a really poor start to the season, and the end of the season was outclassed with Tom Cleverley as the manager. I know they lost one of their key striking, Tolla. I think that's his name. I can't pronounce his name, but I think they're going to have a much better season. I'll be surprised if they don't. I would love Plymouth Argyle to be back in, of course, back in the Championship, and hopefully they do soon. In 4th place then, I am going to go another team who struggled last season, but who I think will have a better season. I'll put Luton Town. They just missed out on the playoffs last season, finishing in 7th, and I think that will be similar with Oxford, to be fair. I think Luton, they've got a good team. I think Jack Wilshere's 2nd season. I think it's for so much transfer window as well. So I think Luton going to be really up there, and it wouldn't surprise me if Luton get 3rd, to be fair, but I've got them in 4th place. Getting into 3rd place then, and I've got Stockport. They finished 3rd last season in Stockport. Of course, they've got a new manager now in Jimmy McGrath. Of course, from Rochdale, the former Rochdale manager, he left Rochdale after getting them promoted from the National League. Of course, he used to be the Stockport manager years ago, but I just think Stockport still have that team. Yes, people probably saying, but with a new manager, will that struggle in his first season? It might do, but I don't think it will happen, and I think they'll finish in 3rd. In 2nd place then, I've got Leicester City. They finished 23rd in the Championship last season. It's mad how 10 years ago they won the Premier League, they've been in the Conference League, they've been all in that, and now they're in League One playing playing Burton away, Northampton away, playing them teams. It's mental. But yeah, Leicester, of course, I don't know who they really signed off the top of my head. I know they've lost a couple of players. I know they're set to sign Wes Burns as well. He's of course having his medical at Leicester today, so that should be done deal by Friday or Saturday. But yeah, I just think who I'm putting top, I think will be stronger than them with how I've got top of league transfers went. So in 2nd place, I've gone Leicester. And top of league, who I think will be strong with in this league, is Sheffield Wednesday. They finished bottom of the league last season. They've signed Louis Barry, Barry Bannon. low. They've signed loads of really good players for this league, and I just think they're going to have a really top season. I think it's going to be tough between Sheffield Wednesday and Leicester. Of course, they ain't got a point deduction either this season. So top of league, I think Sheffield Wednesday. So there you go, guys. That's my League One predictions. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe and like them, please. Of course, damn predictions will be out tomorrow. Then, yeah, damn predictions will be out sometime tomorrow. Then, of course, there'll be Carabao Cup predictions probably tomorrow as well. So 2 videos tomorrow. Then Friday, we've got 2 videos Friday as well. Pretty sure. Match preview for Tamworth, and I've got National League predictions. So stay tuned, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.